Hello fantasy managers, and welcome back to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. We're in the midst of blank and double game week season. Obviously blank game week 18 has just gone. I'm going to briefly touch on that and how my team did before moving on to my team for the upcoming double game week 19. Looking at my team, my transfers, and whether I'm going to play that bench boost. Let's get into it. So if you've been watching this series for a while, you'll know that my goal for the season is to get my 7th top 10k finish. And yeah, we've managed to get inside the top 10k. So I'm super happy about that. And it's come a lot earlier than I expected. I'm pretty pleased with free hit actually and how it went. You know, I was debating whether between a couple of different teams. One of them had Lacazette and Wilson. I decided to go a bit heavier at the back and a bit more weight in midfield, decided to go Rashford over Lacazette. So those small tweaks made a fairly big difference actually. You know, a clean sheet sweep over the back. Cancelo, Wan-Bissaka, Stones and Holding all coming in with a clean sheet. Lloris not quite getting there, but he almost got the clean sheet. But, you know, can't complain with that. You know, 4 out of 5 clean sheets. And really, you know, De Bruyne, why didn't he take that penalty? He could have got, you know, why did Sterling take that penalty? And, you know, he had a good couple of chances in there to improve his score. But, you know, at least it was not a captaincy blank. The midfield, otherwise, not particularly good. Rashford coming in with assist. Obviously, Kane turned out to be the best captain of the game week with 8 points. But overall, very, very happy with the free hit team. You know, Tierney, obviously, he got the injury, but Holding came in. Wanted to make sure I had a decent bench anyway, especially my first sub. So I kind of actually shuffled a bit of my team around to make sure that I had a good first sub in Holding. So I'm pleased I did that. I'm pleased that I got the 6 points off the bench. Okay, moving on to the upcoming blank and double game week 19. Have to stress, obviously, you know, the fixtures have changed. So if you're not aware, just, you know, maybe pause this screen and take a look and soak in the changes to the fixtures. Obviously, you know, Everton now have a blank. Southampton and Leeds, obviously, they don't have a double game week anymore. So, you know, if you've been planning like me to have a few Leeds and Southampton players in, they don't have a double game week. And obviously that's going to depend on whether you play your bench boost or not, which we'll come to in a little bit. You know, obviously a big shout out to Ben Crellin. This is his work. Definitely go follow him on Twitter if you're not already, as I said lots and lots of times. And of course, I highly recommend his transfer planner. Beautiful way to just visualize your team, transfers in and out. Leave a link in the description if you're interested in that one as well. So obviously looking at these fixtures, you know, you want to target teams to have a good double game 19, but also having a look a little bit further ahead. You know, game weeks 20, 21, 22, to make sure that you've got players in for, you know, the longer term as well. Okay, so this is how our team is shaping up for the upcoming game week. You know, I think it's in a pretty good shape. It's got 10 double game weeks there. It's got Bamford and Dallas, who've got a pretty favourable home fixture against Brighton as well. As you can see, my bench isn't particularly strong at the moment. You know, Adams, not a great asset, I would say. I haven't got a double game week keeper either. So my choice really is whether I want to play the bench boost this game week. And I'm actually, you know, a little bit on the fence. As you can see, you know, that bench isn't looking too strong. You know, a common question that I get asked a lot is, how many double game weekers do I need to activate my bench boost chip? And the truth is, it makes no difference. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the players on your bench. So if you do have a double game week player, which you're not going to play, so you have got more than 11 players, and you've got a double game week player on your bench, then, you know, obviously that makes a difference to your bench boost. But, you know, in my situation, for example, what matters is, you know, my bench. It doesn't matter how many double game week players I have in my starting 11. What matters is if I have players that have a double game week on my bench, and currently I don't. But I think there are a couple of benefits with playing the bench boost now. And though I think you've got to look at the fact that bench boost is a really awkward chip to play. You've got to make sure that you have a good bench, obviously, and that involves transferring players in and out, involves having money stuck on your bench, and those transfers are for players which often aren't particularly high quality players. And so there's that big advantage of playing it now. You kind of just get it out of the way. The other big advantage, if we just swing back to the fixtures here. So the other big advantage is that there's going to be a big double game week in 26, where you might be thinking, you know, that's a really good opportunity to play your bench boost chip. Now, we're not going to find out that, who's going to be playing in that big double game week 26. And it's going to be a similar sort of size to the current double game week. So, on paper, you think, that's a really good time to play a bench boost. The difficulty, as I said, is that we won't find out who's got a double in 26 until around game week 24, 25. And then you could play your wild card in 24, 25, set yourself up for a big bench boost in 26. You're thinking, brilliant, I've absolutely smashed this double game week 26. The difficulty is that then there's a blank in game week 29, and the teams that have a double in 26 will be very, very different from the teams that have a game that don't blank in 29. So you've effectively got hardly any players that play in 29, and you don't have a wild card, and you might not have your free hit. So in my situation, I've obviously played my free hit. If you've got your free hit, then absolutely save your bench boost, play your wild card in 24, 25, play your bench boost in 26, and then play your free hit 29. That's the ideal setup if you haven't used your free hit. In my situation, obviously use the free hit. I'll really struggle if I play my wild card in 24, bench boost in 26. I'll really struggle to get a team together in 29. But if I play my bench boost now, then I can fill my bench in 26 with teams that play in 29, enabling me to use a few transfers between 27 and 28 to have a decent team in 29. So with that in mind, I'm strongly considering trying to play my bench boost in game week 19. So what would that involve? Well, it would involve probably Che Adams to Antonio. I think that Antonio, obviously with those two plum home ties, I think that he's going to be a massive differential. Those are really, really good games. Burnley and West Brom at home. I think that he could go and score, a monster haul. I think that he's a really good shout. And Adams, obviously, with Southampton dropping out now from the double game weeks, he's obviously got one fixture. He wasn't a very good pick anyway. So, I'm quite tempted to make that move. And if I do Adams to Antonio, then, then my bench is looking like Bamford, Dallas, and Brewster. That's okay. Obviously, Brewster isn't fantastic. So obviously I've still got Button in there. Now I probably would take a hit to Button to either Johnston or Areola. Probably Areola. Areola, obviously the Fulham goalkeeper. He's got 2 home fixtures against Chelsea and Man United. Pretty tricky, but I would expect him to score more than 4 points, and I would expect him to repay that hit. So yeah, that would leave me with a bench of Areola, Bamford, Dallas, and Brewster, and a full 11 of double game weekers, which I think would be, a pretty good situation to be in. Obviously, I don't want to be playing Brewster on a bench boost, and it's not an amazing bench. I don't have a load of double game weeks. I don't think that Leeds are necessarily going to steamroll to Brighton by any stretch of the imagination either. So it's far from perfect bench boost, but as I said, the benefits of playing it now as opposed to 29. I think give me pretty good justification to doing that. But I'm not completely set on doing the bench boost. I think I could just go Adams to Antonio, not take a hit, and bench Bamford and Dallas. Obviously, the benefit of that is that we don't really know. Obviously Aston Villa, some of the Aston Villa first team had COVID. We don't know who they were, so potentially it could be Grealish. I don't think it is. But, potentially it could be Grealish, potentially it could be Martinez. As I said, I don't think it is going to be those guys, but, it potentially could be, or we could have, another postponement. Hopefully not, but it's very, very possible that we get another game postponed, in which case, I would be relying on my bench. And obviously if I'm playing my bench boost, that's not what you want to do. So there's a lot to consider here, and I'm going to be paying close attention to the press conferences. I might just do Adams to Antonio and not play the bench boost. And if I did that, then I'd probably look to be playing a bench boost in a single game week, actually. Maybe later in the season. I could potentially play it in, 26, but as I said, that creates a lot of problems with trying to get a team together for 29. So I'll probably play it in a single game week. But at the moment, my current plan is to do Button to Areola and Adams to Antonio and play the bench boost. But, as I said, it could very well change. In terms of, potentially other things that I could do, I really like Manchester City defence. I really like Cancelo. I really want him in. I'm also slightly tempted to do Chilwell to Cancelo, and forget about Antonio because he's probably going to get injured in the first game anyway. So yeah, that's another option which I am considering, but that I don't think it's the logical thing to do, even though I do really want Cancelo. In terms of captaincy, I'm leaning towards De Bruyne at the moment just because of the two home games. He's got to take a penalty if City do get a penalty, surely, and he's got to start putting one of these big chances away. And those are two plum home ties, so I think De Bruyne's probably the best option, but Salah is a really good shout. If I don't play the bench boost, I think there's a good chance I will play the triple captain, probably on De Bruyne, although Salah's another good shout as well. For me, I think Salah and De Bruyne are the best FPL assets in the game, and they've got home matches in a well spaced out double game week. I think it's a great opportunity to play your triple captainship. I do think that in an ideal world, bench boost chip is the preferred strategy, but obviously it depends on having a good bench boost. I would stay away from Fernandes captain just because he's on 4 yellows and he could potentially get a yellow card against Liverpool and then he'd end up missing the better fixture that he has there against Fulham away. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with this team. Let me know in the comments how you're shaping up, what chip strategy you're going to play. Whether you think that I should play my bench boost or I should save it for later down the line. Be really interested to hear those thoughts. But otherwise, if you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel because it really does help the channel out. It encourages me to do more of these, and hopefully, you get something out of it as well. If you want to become a Fantasy Football Hub member, access Ben Crellin Sheet, access our incredible points prediction tool, all of our Opta stats, fixture ticker, etc., etc. Loads of resources, all designed to ensure that you dominate your mini league. I'll leave a link to a free trial in the description if you're not subscribed already. But good luck for the upcoming game week, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.